Bixby's recovered a fumble at the 45. Play action fake, guns one. It is caught. Touchdown, Spartans. The middle, he's got a hit of steam. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bixby. Rolls to his right to pressure as he throws. It's picked off. Interception. It's over. Bixby is the state champion in 6A Division II in Oklahoma.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show, which is sponsored by Roush Coleman Homes, getting ready to head into the playoffs. Spartans with a big win on the road to finish out district against the Sand Springs Sandites. This was a nice victory, Lauren. I said, maybe a kind of a resilient victory, but this is a team that is dangerous playing at home, and you guys were able to take care of business from the get-go.
Yeah, we feel like Sand Springs is dangerous anytime you line up and play them because they're tough and they're well coached. And so very proud of our guys. Went in at halftime with a 21-7 lead and then had some third quarter woes, as we have had, and let them come back and tie the game up. And then finally we went ahead and pulled away late in the third quarter and fourth quarter. So really proud of our guys for executing late in the game and staying after it and playing hard, and we got a much needed victory.
Well, and it also gives you, we'll talk about this playoff game coming up, first round of the playoffs, but big difference, you get one at home.
Yeah, it's very nice, playing. We always talk about the environment. We play it at home. Seems like our kids play a little bit better at home. You don't have to go on the road, and especially not to Lawton, which probably would have been the alternative. Mm-hmm. So we're excited about our matchup with Stillwater, and they're going to have a good team coming in.
All right, we'll talk about the Stillwater Pioneers. We come back, we'll have some highlights. Let's talk about our practice getting ready for the Pioneers and the practice you had to get ready for the Sand Springs Sandites. Raising Cane's practice players of the week.
Yeah, I had several guys give us good looks. Had junior running back Jake Wright, who had a big game Monday night in the Booker TJV game as well, and then plays on many of our special teams. He's a steak eater, 100%er in the summer, just a very diligent kid. Mason Van Pelt, a sophomore linebacker who's doing a really good job, starting to grow, really come on. Very proud of him. And then this week we had the freshman up practicing with us, and a kid you might know, Mark, Nick Waddell, jumped in there and gave us a great look at linebacker as well. So proud of what those guys are doing and proud of the effort they're giving us out on the practice field.
Yeah, I've heard of that kid. Good looks in practice will be needed for Stillwater Pioneers. We're going to talk about them, but we're going to have first half highlights as the Spartans went on the road and took on the Sand Springs Sandites. All that coming up next.
Bixby Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Roush Coleman Homes, improving quality of life, one home at a time. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love for the game. Midwest Sporting Goods, put some Midwest best on you. Nowlin Orthodontics, live life smiling. Hot Coffee Design, find us at hotcoffeedesign.com. Green Country Mitsubishi, we dare you to compare. Country Financial, even the biggest goals start with simple steps. Advanced Plastics, building partnerships through willingness, versatility, and knowledge. Communication Federal Credit Union, connecting with you. Car Country by Nelson, where you will be treated like a superstar. Western Sun Federal Credit Union, Billings Construction Group, our service is unequaled. And by TTCU, the credit union.
For most buyers nowadays, energy efficiency is one of the top things on their list. At Roush Coleman, it's a top priority for us, and our customers are able to live in one of the most energy efficient new homes built. As a result of that, you're going to see that those utility bills are less than anything else you're going to see with a used home or an apartment that you live in.
On game day, football players aren't the only ones suiting up. Our crew's ready for any play.
Yeah, can I get one box? Extra sauce and toast. Hydrated Idaho, tailgate to go.
So that's a box combo with extra cane sauce, Texas toast, fresh squeezed lemonade with crinkle cut fries, and a 25-finger tailgate?
Nailed it!
Football's just part of who we are. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Back here on the Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show, sponsored by Roush Coleman Homes. Spartans on the road against the Sand Springs Sandites, and early on in this one, the Sandites, which have that dimension really to them with Peyton Scott, their running back, which they rely heavily on, and they used it early. You guys were able to offset that as the game went on.
Yeah, I felt like our guys settled down. You know, they put together a great first drive. They took the ball and drove it all the way down the field and scored. And, you know, predominantly with Peyton Scott carries. And he's such a talented back, had 500 yards the week before. And I think we were able to corral him to about 150, which is more than we like to give up to a running back. But he's just so slippery. And they give it to him quite a few times. So after that first series, felt like our guys, you know, got rid of some of that adrenaline, settled down, started reading their run fits a little bit better, and we were able to slow them down considerably after that.
Let's take a look. First half, Spartans and the Sandites on the road. They're at Memorial Stadium in Sand Springs.
We come out here on defense to start with, and you'll see right there them run the one-back power to the nub side. Brennan Presley, Ryan Kerr in on the tackle right there on the play side. And then come back on the zone call right there. You'll see Noah West making initial contact, being cleaned up by Colin Farley and Kobe Tillman. You'll see Ryan Kerr right there on the tackle. That defense doing a good job getting everything bottled up. Coming back out here with a play-action pass. Staten hits Eric Calton-Watkins out on the curl outside, and then we hit the power play right here behind Trevor Hawk to Tucker Pauley. Tucker really starting to look back to mid-season form a little bit now that he's got the knee brace off and he's moving around real good. Another good run. Tucker had over 240 yards the other night, and then we hit the hitch screen right there to Clayton Barber out on the outside, doing a good job picking up positive yardage. Then we come back to the power play right there. You'll see behind Trevor Hawk and Bryce Bray, those guys doing a good job blocking out on the outside and getting into the end zone there. Reese Vernon, place kicker right here, doing a good job of placing the ball where we want, putting the ball right there on the 20, and you'll see us come in and make a great tackle right there. Didn't get a number on that one, but a very good job right there. You'll see Brody Sarton, I think, sneaking in there. Maybe that was Ryan Kerr from his linebacker position, and then Colin Farley right there on one of his big sacks of the night. Colin having a big night. Come back, running the one-back power, and we throw the bubble screen out to Brennan Presley, and him making several guys miss doing what he does. Brennan had a really good night, made some big grabs for us, and there's another one right there on the hitch out over the outside. And it's funny, a lot of times they might push him out of bounds, but rarely does he get tackled by one guy. See Kobe Tillman clogging everything up there. Trevor Gavin up on the inside getting good push and cleaning it up right here. Trevor's really coming on at nose guard. He's a big 290-pound kid, and he's starting to figure out how to play with his hands. Zach Riddle out here on the wide receiver screen down the sideline. Zach doing a good job picking up positive yards, and we come right back to him right there, giving us a soft edge. Hit Zach again out on the edge right there. The wide receiver screens, as you can see right here, really big for us right there. Cade Cavender from his wide receiver position doing a great job blocking. Love to see those wide receivers gooning out there on the edge, and then we throw the comeback right here. I believe that's Cade Cavender right there on the outside making a big grab. Cade's good for 3 or 4 catches a game in critical situations. Tucker Pauley on the power play behind Kobe Tillman out of our jumbo set right here. Look at that push right there by Trevor Gavin. So proud of him. Noah West in on that. Zeke Upshaw also having a good game. The one-back power right there, Kobe Tillman meeting it right there in the hole. You'll see Talon Javersack from his defensive end position. We're getting work out of Talon at both nose guard and defensive end. It's good that he can be multi-dimensional right there. Hitting the power play in behind Carter McCamus. He's doing a good job. You'll see Noah West on a big lead block, this week's Player of the Week. Noah West there, and Tucker with a big hit on the official right there on the zone play. Tucker gave the official a hard time after that, and then Tucker comes back with a counter play up inside right here, and then we punch it in behind the lead block of Kobe Tillman. So excellent drive right there, excellent score. And then our defense is back out, and once again you'll see the defensive line really starting to get good push, and Zeke Upshaw right there from his defensive end position getting great push, getting good pressure on the quarterback right there, and then a deflected pass right there. Kobe picks it up with the interception, and then we drive the ball down, and we're unable to get any points out of the drive right before halftime, but excellent first half, 14 points going in at halftime, Mark.
All right, so the Spartans in position for a victory, and they'll clean things up, take care of it in the second half. We'll have those highlights when we come back.
For most buyers nowadays, energy efficiency is one of the top things on their list. At Roush Coleman, it's a top priority for us, and our customers are able to live in one of the most energy efficient new homes built. As a result of that, you're going to see that those utility bills are less than anything else you're going to see with a used home or an apartment that you live in.
What's really been great about Mazda through the years is that they're not afraid to take risk. They will build a car that is more fun to drive. They'll build a car that has better styling. They're partially artists and they're partially race car drivers. We're excited to sell a new Mazda because it simply means that we know that that client got a really great vehicle.
Well, it's been a busy day of college football. Let's get caught up on the action. First up, Alabama. This play right here shows what eating chicken will do for you. Lots of broken tackles here. It's the chicken.
No idea what you're talking about.
Joey Galloway is here with chicken predictions.
My what?
Touchdown chicken.
Okay, are we filming right now?
Chicken, 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 chicken.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird.
New management.
Start your game day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
We're back here on the Spartan Coaches Show as the Spartans are on the road at Sand Springs. Those are the highlights we've been looking at halftime. You got a 21-7 lead. Feel like you kind of have things kind of smoothed out and heading in that second half?
Well, what we talked about is, and I don't know if it's one of those things that you should talk about or shouldn't talk about or whatever, but we talked about coming out and playing really good football in the third quarter because we haven't done that. And me as a head coach, I got to figure out a way to be better at that. But so we talked about, taking off right where we left off. And so then we come out and they do a little, it was a perfect kick right along the sidelines, one that looks like it's going to go out and landed about an inch from going out of bounds and stayed in, and they recovered it and were able to score and then score again and get back in the game. So, yeah, we talked about coming out in the third quarter, but we didn't quite do it the way we wanted to. So let's take a look at these highlights coming out here. And you'll see Sand Springs comes out right here, and they run the zone play behind Peyton Scott, and a great tackle right there by Kobe Tillman from his linebacker position. The hole was left wide open for him. And they started hitting us in the second half with some speed option, and they made some adjustments, and we kind of had to do some things to protect against that. And we come back here and we're in a stretch play to Tucker. Good looking football play and behind some good blocking, and then we run the inside zone with a couple of fold blocks right there, and then hit another inside zone with some fold blocks. And good to see Tucker getting north and south and vertical. Good push right here on the inside zone play right there. Tucker finishing the run. I love watching him finish when he starts to get into a routine, and he had 42 carries to get into a routine the other night, and you'll see him finishing another run off there. He's a big physical back in the 300-pound power clean club, and you'll notice Trevor Gavin, Talon Javersack, Kobe Tillman in from their positions right there. Javersack right there in on the tackle, just about makes a solo, loses it, but the rest of the guys come in and clean up the scraps. And then Kobe Tillman right there from the linebacker position, showing up all the time, always around the ball, motor never slows down. And then we'll hit Zach Riddle on the quick wide right there for a big third down conversion. And then the power play right here behind Carter McCamus, getting up inside, running the football well. Zy Albert having a really good game right there. And we set up the screen pass, throw the bubble out to Brennan Presley. And then he ends up picking up a big first down right there. Proud of Brennan. That was a big play in the game. We throw the comeback right here, or excuse me, the curl route to Eric Calton Watkins. Good to see him healthy and having a good game as well. Great pass protection right there. Tucker did a good job picking it up. Brennan Presley down on the 1 yard line, and then let's see if we can punch this thing in, and we do on a power play. Tucker goes in untouched right there. You'll see our guys up inside getting great push. Colin Farley doing a good job running from his outside linebacker position, the wily old veteran. And then once again we get hit by speed option, and we handle that the way Coach Flowers wanted us to. We wanted to take away Peyton Scott and make the quarterback handle the pitch. And it looks like they had another guy in, maybe setting up the speed option pass right there. We hit the double move right there to Cade Cavender. Cade doing a nice job. We'd run so many wide receiver screens that they were biting right up on that. Probably big play. Then Ryan Kerr, you'll see Clayton Barber from his safety position down making some tackles. Kobe Tillman with a violent tackle right there. Zeke Upshaw in on it as well. Sand Springs dropping back to pass, and our guys doing a good job covering it up. Ends up breaking down, and Zeke Upshaw right there on the sack. Zeke, he's back to healthy, doing well. The defensive line position, good to have those guys playing well. Player of the week, Noah West, in with Kobe Tillman in on the tackle right there. And then Sand Springs drops back. They're in pass mode, and Trevor Gavin with a big sack right there from his nose guard position, having a little bit of fun with those offensive linemen there. Tucker right here running the stretch play, getting vertical north and south. And then he comes back right here, and he hits the stretch play in behind Bryce Bray. and Carter McCamus over the left side doesn't quite get in, runs out of bounds. A big first down pickup right here. And then right here, the power play out of the ace formation are 2 tight end sets, and Tucker ends up finishing that runoff. He had 5 touchdowns on the evening. And speaking of 5 touchdowns, that'll take us right into our stats. Final score of the game, 42-21. First downs, 29-16. Total offense, 435 to 199. Passing, 211 to 23. That's a big stat right there, holding him to 23 yards passing, 224 to 176. Holding Peyton Scott down around 150 yards is really big for us. Great night in the penalty department. We had 3 penalties for 25 yards. They had 4 for 20. We had the 2 turnovers there in the third quarter to their 1. Passing, Staten King was 19 to 29 for 211 and 1 TD. Rushing, Tucker Pauley had 41 carries for 222 yards and 5 touchdowns. Braden Roller had 1 carry for 3 yards. Receiving, Cade Cavender, 3 receptions for 71 yards and a touch. Zach Riddle, 7 receptions for 64 yards. Eric Calton Watkins, 2 receptions for 33. Brendan Presley, 6 receptions for 33. Tackles, Kobe Tillman with a whopping 24 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception. Noah West, 9 tackles. Colin Farley, 9 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss. And Zeke Upshaw, 8 tackles. So good evening for the Spartans, and good to head into the playoffs with a big victory.
All right, no stats, by the way, as they have all season, been brought to you by Green Country Mitsubishi. Spartans now turning their attention to the Stillwater Pioneers from the other side of 6A2, District 1. Pioneers, they may have a few injuries, but who doesn't at this time of the year?
Yeah, everybody's beat up and held together with duct tape and baling wire for the most part. Very few seasons have I gone through where we haven't had that as a setup. I think 2014 we had every starter available by the state championship game, but we had a couple collarbones and things like that. So that's just what everybody's dealing with this time of year. So you get into a situation where depth plays a big part.
Well, let's talk about what they bring to the table now. Obviously, they have the sophomore quarterback, Gunnar Gundy. They don't throw it a whole lot, or they have not been, and defensively, I know they do some different things.
They got a big physical offensive line, and they like to get into some wildcat stuff, a couple good backs, and run the football with those guys, and so our defensive line's going to have to be up to the challenge. And then defensively, they run something very unorthodox. You know, we call it Apache. I'm not really sure the official name of it, but guys are all up in stances, moving around, and at the snap of the ball, they shoot gaps, they penetrate, they try to confuse, and so they force you to be a little bit simple on what you do, but I also think that the potential for really big plays is there, you know, as well when teams are doing that.
All right, so the Spartans heading into the playoffs against the Stillwater Pioneers, and that's coming up 7 o'clock, Spartan Stadium, Lee Snyder Field. Coming up next here on the show, we have our Player of the Week, and that's brought to you by Nowlin Orthodontics. All that is coming up next.
Your home from the very start is on a very, very tight schedule. And what that ensures is that something's being done on your home every day. Quality is what our reputation is based on. It's the quality that people expect to get when they buy a home. It's the quality they expect to get when they're making the largest purchase of their life.
On game day, football players aren't the only ones suiting up. Our crew's ready for any play.
Yeah, can I get 1 box? Extra sauce and toast. Hydrated Idaho, Idaho. Tailgate to go.
So that's a box combo with extra cane sauce, Texas toast, fresh squeezed lemonade with crinkle cut fries, and a 25-finger tailgate.
Nailed it!
Football is just part of who we are. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Welcome back to the Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show, and it's time for our Nowlin Orthodontics Player of the Week. Noah West, junior, tight end, outside linebacker, plays a few positions. Noah, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about overall your play. Defensively, which is kind of getting the spotlight as we look here after the win over Sand Springs. I don't want to get into what you enjoy playing the most, but let's just focus on what you're doing right now and playing outside linebacker. You've done that for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done it since about 5th grade.
Okay. And that's when you started playing football?
Yes.
Okay. What is it about playing outside linebacker that you like?
Well, you kind of just get to read the running back and go get nasty with them.
All right. So you like contact, and obviously you're a smart guy. Let's talk about your academics as well. You're doing pretty well in school and have tested out well.
Yes, sir. I have.
All right. What's your favorite subject?
Probably math.
Okay. What is it you like about that? You're a numbers guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, numbers-wise, your team heading into the playoffs seems to be picking up a lot of steam. How would you kind of rate this season so far?
I mean, there's been some ups and downs, and it's kind of fun to watch everyone grow, and finally clicked against Sand Springs. So
you kind of feel like you guys are starting to peak at the right time?
Yep.
You've been a part of some teams here as a junior. You have seen some real highs, and
yeah,
you got a lot of motivation based on what has happened here in the past, would you say?
Definitely. Last year gave me a lot of confidence. So.
Now, after football, let's say maybe you want to continue on and continue to play?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay. What else besides that? If you've got the numbers thing down, I guess there's a lot of things you could be. You could be involved in the financial world.
I kind of want to be an engineer. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to OU.
All right, so you enjoy the Bedlam game.
Yeah.
All right, and college-wise, that would definitely be your choice?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
What is it about OU? Is it just that you've kind of grown up liking OU, or have you been down there?
My parents like OU. I actually like Texas, but I just like the atmosphere and everything about it.
Yeah, got to be really careful when you start getting into the OU Texas comparisons and who likes who. Well, listen, have a great finish to the season, heading into the playoffs. Congratulations on getting the notoriety of being the Player of the Week from Nowlin Orthodontics.
Thank you.
All right, Noah West, junior tight end, outside linebacker. We really didn't get the tight end thing, but we'll save that for next year maybe. All right, coming up next, we'll talk about the youngsters, and we'll talk about our Midwest Sporting Goods Youth Team of the Week. All that coming up next.
What's really been great about Mazda through the years is that they're not afraid to take risk. They will build a car that is more fun to drive. They'll build a car that has better styling. They're partially artists and they're partially race car drivers. We're excited to sell a new Mazda because it simply means that we know that client got a really great vehicle.
For most buyers nowadays, energy efficiency is one of the top things on their list. At Roush Coleman, it's a top priority for us, and our customers are able to live in one of the most energy efficient new homes built. As a result of that, you're going to see that those utility bills are less than anything else you're going to see with a used home or an apartment that you live in.
Well, it's been a busy day of college football. Let's get caught up on the action. First up, Alabama. This play right here shows what eating chicken will do for you. Lots of broken tackles here. It's the chicken.
No idea what you're talking about.
Joey Galloway is here with chicken predictions.
My what?
Touchdown chicken.
Okay, are we filming right now?
Chicken, 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 chicken.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird.
New management.
Start your game day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back to the Bixby Spartan Football Show, and it's time for our Midwest Sporting Goods Youth Team of the Week. We turn to 6th grade, and 6th grade Blue head coach Shane Roller joins us. Shane, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about overall great season. Ended loss in the playoffs, but this team has always gotten there playoff-wise. You're always playing a little bit later than everybody else.
Yeah, we had a good season. I think we ended our season up 8-3, so pretty good, successful season.
Well, let's talk about this team. You got some varied weapons offensively. We can get into some highlights and look. You got a lot of interchangeable parts on that offense, don't you?
I do. We have our base diamond offense we like to run, but we try to incorporate some of the stuff the high school's doing. So we'll put in the spread and do some stuff. We do that offensively and both defensively. You know, they run 3-4 a lot, so we try to incorporate that. So once they get into school ball, it's not foreign to them.
Well, Jace, your son has been obviously a staple of that offense, and he's also moved on to where he's thrown the ball a little bit as well.
He has. We have a couple different sets we can use him like a wildcat situation, but he's a running back primarily, and then we have a couple other really good blocking backs out of the backfield, and it really our line too does a great job. So those guys just kind of get the limelight of scoring touchdowns, but it comes from everybody up front doing their job.
Yeah, you have some big kids up front, and obviously that transfers over. On the defensive side, you've got a pretty good push defensively too.
We do. We have, like I said, we have a bunch of hard-nosed kids that like to get in there and play hard, play fast, and fly to the ball. So it's fun to watch them.
Well, let's talk about defensively too. It's not just your line. You have some pretty good linebackers, some kids in the secondary. A lot of people there that can come up and make a play.
We do. Like I said, they fly around, and we have our middle linebacker Justin Kirk. He flies around the ball. A little bit bigger kid that he thinks he's a running back, but he's in INFC. He's too big to carry the ball. So he loves playing that middle linebacker position, and he flies around. So it's fun watching him play.
All right. Well, you've had this team now since first grade, and you got one more year. And how much do you enjoy just being around this group of kids?
Oh, it's great. You know, this sixth grade class is an awesome group of kids. I think we have about 75 kids out in the class, and all 3 teams made the playoffs. I think there's about 60 teams in the INFC in that grade, and only 12 make the playoffs, and all 3 from Bixby made the playoffs. So a good group of kids coming up, and going to be excited to watch them in the future.
Yeah, it should be a great class. Congratulations on a great year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Shane Roller, head coach, 6th grade Blue, and that's going to do it for the Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show. Once again, our U Team of the Week, sponsored by Midwest Sporting Goods. Spartans, first round of the 6A2 playoffs against the Stillwater Pioneers. That's Friday night at 7 o'clock at Spartan Stadium. We'll see you next time.
The Bixby Football Coaches Show was brought to you by Roush Coleman Homes, improving quality of life, one home at a time. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love for the game. Midwest Sporting Goods, put some Midwest best on you. Nowlin Orthodontics, live life smiling. Hot Coffee Design, find us at hotcoffeedesign.com. Green Country Mitsubishi, we dare you to compare. Country Financial, even the biggest goals start with simple steps. Advanced Plastics, building partnerships through willingness, versatility, and knowledge. Communication Federal Credit Union, connecting with you. Car Country by Nelson, where you will be treated like a superstar. Western Sun Federal Credit Union. Billings Construction Group, our service is unequal. And by TTCU, the credit union.